Hey there, welcome to day 944 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sitting in the garage in the boat, up in the cabin, trying to be quiet so everybody else can sleep. It's pretty early still, but I like to get my content out of the way so that I can enjoy the rest of the day with the family. Today is day 944 of sharing and documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business over a quarter century in some of the coolest corporations in the world. And alongside that, 47 years owning and operating and running my own businesses in a lot of different industries, like 25, 27 or so different industries, different businesses. And some of the lessons I've learned there offline that I am trying to then incorporate and bring into my world online. And yikes, some of the mistakes I've made, if it's day 944, obviously a work in progress, some of the things that I've learned along the way and the rabbit holes that I've gone down. But you know, I'd have to go back and listen to some of my videos to remember all of them because there have been so many. But what am I doing now? What's working now? What's not working? Right now I'm doing challenges. Get Up and Go Challenge, day 29 today of a 30-day challenge just to help people, including myself, get through the COVID pandemic. You know, all of the different habits and things that we've formed. Yeah, we used to always wash our hands. Some of us, I was in the food industry for 35, 37 years, so washing my hands, I always had like dry, chapped hands because I'd wash my hands like at least 30 or so times a day working in the food industry. And so hand washing as part of COVID was just, you know, nothing new for me. But for a lot of people, automatic hand washing using the right antibacterial soaps and things has become much more a part of our lives. And in a very short period of time, masks and sanitizer and hand washing and, you know, different cleaning products and processes have just become second nature to us. Just laughing, I've got, as soon as you walk in the door at my house, there's a railing that goes over the stairs, one of those little half walls. And it used to be, you know, just for putting keys and gloves and whatever when you'd come in from the winter. But now it's this whole sanitation station, and I should post a picture of it below. Maybe I'll do that in the comments. I'm sure I've got a picture on my phone of that because it makes me laugh when I see it, because here is this new welcome, come into my house, but don't come into my house until you like get clean, scrubbed, and sanitized. Remember early on in COVID, the kids were coming home from Colorado and they hadn't been home for like 2 months, and they were going to come home. And I said, well, when you get here, there's, you know, clean clothes in the garage, and you're going to have to take off your clothes and put them in a plastic bag and take them down and put them in the wash machine. And then I realized, you know, okay, that's a little bit of overkill and ridiculousness. But they did put their clothes in the washer and stuff for me and make sure that they were cleaned and sanitized before we interacted. But, you know, if I think back even 6 months ago, maybe it's longer, let's say March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so if I think back even 7 months ago, we would have thought that that was kind of ridiculous and ludicrous behavior. We would have thought that wearing, you know, masks around and the debate over white side or blue side with my sisters and I, we would have thought that was just something that we're not going to do. And now it's almost commonplace to see people wearing masks. I got to tell you, I miss people's faces. I miss seeing people smile. You can kind of see in their eyes when they're smiling, but it's not the same. So, you know, I am going to cross my fingers and imagine that we've got a vaccine and everybody is back to our human interaction, our human engagement pretty soon. But in the meantime, we need to talk about habits. We need to form new habits and new ways of being. And in some ways, COVID is teaching us things that we could and should have been doing all along, right? We should have been paying more attention to how we laid out our workplaces and how we were interacting with people. We should have paid attention. I'll admit it, back when I was in corporate America, you know, come hell or high water, I was going to work. It didn't matter how sick I was. I might separate myself in my office or something if I was super duper sick, or say stand back, but I always was there. I was one of those die-hard, I'm going to work no matter what people. I remember I had laryngitis for like 3 weeks, and I had gone to the doctor, was on antibiotics, but I was at work every freaking day. I'm like, how bad is that? And what kind of message does that send to other people? Hey, it's more important that I work, and even to my kids, it's more important that I go to work than that I take care of myself. Guess what? It's a huge opportunity for us to reshift and relook at our priorities. And many of us are doing that. A lot of people are just waiting for life to go back to normal. Guess what? there is no normal. Life has never been normal, at least for some of us. But for a lot of people, I think that we expect routines and habits and having things be consistent and the same. It gives us a sense of certainty. Now, as human beings, we have to have a sense of certainty in certain areas and aspects of our life, like our throat being cloggy. And in other things, we have to have variety and uncertainty. So we are complicated beings, to say the least. So Get Up and Go Challenge today was all about how do we install and make habits out of things that we want to make habits out of. Things that make us safe and keep us safe for COVID. We have very quickly and easily made those habits, right? And I'm teaching people to install a framework for dealing with, called SOAP, of course, for dealing with challenges, change, obstacles, failures, any kind of a difference or an experience that they want to experience, and guarantee that they're going to have better results after having had that experience than when they went into that experience. Because every experience that we have, it's really here to teach us something. Sometimes it's to teach us that we're on the wrong path. Other times it's to teach us that we need to keep going. But there's always a message and a lesson to be learned in everything, every person we meet, every experience that we have. And the SOAP framework helps to guarantee, by installing that and making that automatic, making that a habit for myself and for others, that we always end up better off, no matter what. Any kind of change that we face, not just challenges, not just the things we deem negative, but all of the things that we experience. So that was the Get Up and Go Challenge today. A fun challenge today was all about being able to look foolish and having fun, whether you're looking foolish or not. It's all about the experience, and are you having fun with it, or are you more concerned about how you look to other people? So I actually did that one in my hot rollers today. Before I took my hot rollers out, I climbed out here on the boat so I could be quiet at the cabin and did my video in my hot rollers. Because guess what? That is actually some of the early on videos that I did in my hot rollers, because I wanted to test myself and prove to myself that I wasn't going to die if I made a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live or an Instagram Live or whatever live video, that it wasn't going to be the end of the world. I tripped over my tongue again on a couple of things in the Get Up and Go Challenge. I might have already in this video. We're just human. It's live video. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to muck in and fall out of the boat yet. We're going to do things, and it's not the end of the world. It's not going to kill us. It's not going to be as embarrassing as we thought. Will we get some haters and hecklers? Yeah, who cares, right? If we're not getting people upset by something we say or do, then we're not playing big enough. We're not making enough of a difference. We're not sharing who we really are. Because when we share who we really are, yes, we are opening ourselves up to criticism from other people. We are having to be vulnerable. I don't even love the word vulnerable. I think you just be yourself, and you be honest, and you be who you are. You don't put on a bunch of airs. You just are who you are, so that when people see you and meet you, they're like, oh yeah, I've watched her videos. I know who she is. And what you see is what you get. I'm a big what you see is what you get person. Now, I will admit, I am still in my pajamas, by the way. I didn't want to wake anybody up getting dressed. So what you see is what you get. And when you do that, yeah, people are going to criticize you, but it's usually people that are not willing to do the thing that you're doing. And maybe that's just showing up and being yourself. More people on this planet are afraid to be themselves and be who they really are and to show up and be authentic than they are afraid of anything else. I bet more people are afraid to be themselves than are even afraid of public speaking or dying, right? So that was what I was thinking about with respect to looking foolish. I'm like, if you're not willing to look foolish, if you're not willing to try and do something outside your comfort zone, there's a pretty much zero probability that you're going to grow and expand and be more than you are right now. So stretch that comfort zone, go ahead and look foolish. Guess what? Sometimes looking foolish is downright freaking fun. So Get Up and Go Challenge, up the cabin this weekend. The cabin's sold, so we're all hanging out over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be gone after Labor Day, so we want to make sure that as a family we all get a chance to experience it. It's an awesome place. It's been a great place for our family for 12 years, yeah, well over a decade. So we want to get the kids up. My daughter's coming back from Colorado. Hopefully I can get my granddaughter up here one more time because it has been a fun family place for all of us. Although she did have a big throwing up experience last time we were up here, which then made Grandma throw up. Of course, it was just one of those comedies of error, but it happens, right? I remember when we were kids, we were always getting car sick. And not even car sick, we would just get sick. And so my mom used to line the hall from our bedroom to the bathroom with newspaper because she knew one or the other of us was going to get sick. So we'd get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you'd hear us little crunching on the newspaper. It's funny. I did feel sorry for my mom when that happened because I remembered all the time that one of us or the other of us was sick. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So what is going on in your life that you would like to make a habit? What is something that you just want to be automatic? Share in the comments below, and then we'll do a little discussion, or in one of these in one of these what you up to now, I'll share the process to guarantee that you can install any habit that you want into your life. Now, will it take you 21 days? That's a lie, by the way. That was something that a motivational speaker made up in a speech, and then it just spread like wildfire through the belief systems of the masses that, oh, it just takes 21 days of doing something to form a new habit. Well, if it does, then why do people in AA tend to go or have to go for the rest of their life to meetings and things? It's because each and every one of us is different, and to form a new habit is different for each of us. And to form a habit of different things that we want it to be habits are different for each of us, depending on how motivated we are to change that thing. That's it. Go out, have an absolutely amazing, fantastic day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.